Hey there, career climbers and productivity enthusiasts. Imagine this. In just 5 minutes a day, you could unlock a level of career growth you never thought possible. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, stick around because today, I'm about to share a surprisingly simple strategy that's been a game changer for so many people, including myself. Now let me ask you, have you ever felt overwhelmed by endless to-do lists and the pressure of always doing more to get ahead? Or maybe you've spent hours reading productivity hacks only to feel even more confused about where to start. I've been there too. But what if I told you that you can boost your productivity and your career growth by dedicating just 5 minutes each day to a focused, intentional practice? In this video, we're diving deep into how a tiny daily investment can pay off big time. We're going to break it down into 3 simple steps, bust a few myths along the way, and even do a quick demo so you can see exactly how to get started right now. So if you're ready for some real talk on how to elevate your career without burning out, then let's get into it. Let's start with a bold statement. Career growth doesn't have to be a monumental effort. I know it sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? We often think that skyrocketing to the top requires endless hours of hustle and a never-ending stream of complicated strategies. But here's the kicker. Sometimes the simplest practices yield the most powerful results. A few years back, I was stuck in a loop. I'd spend hours planning projects, attending meetings, and trying to figure out the next big thing. But despite all that effort, I wasn't really moving forward in my career the way I wanted. Then one day, a mentor told me something that changed everything. Focus on what matters most, even if it's just for 5 minutes. That advice seemed almost laughable at first. How could 5 minutes make any difference? But I decided to give it a try. And soon enough, those 5 minutes became the cornerstone of my daily routine. By dedicating a small slice of time to a focused, intentional activity, I started seeing improvements in clarity, motivation, and overall productivity. And guess what? Those improvements began to snowball into tangible career growth. Better performance reviews, new opportunities, and a renewed sense of confidence. So what is it about these 5 minutes that makes such a difference? It all comes down to intentional focus. When you carve out a brief period in your day to reflect, plan, and act with purpose, you set a positive tone that carries over into every other task. It's like giving your brain a quick tune-up before heading out on a long drive. Before we dive into the nitty-gritty, here's a quick roadmap of today's video. 1. The 3-step framework. We'll break down the simple yet powerful routine that takes just 5 minutes a day. These 3 steps are designed to help you gain clarity, prioritize effectively, and set actionable goals. 2. Busting 5 myths about productivity. There are a lot of misconceptions out there about what it takes to be productive. We'll debunk some common myths so you can avoid the pitfalls and focus on what really works. 3. Quick win demo. I'll walk you through a real-time demo so you can see how to implement these steps immediately, even if you're in the middle of a busy day. 4. Actionable takeaways. Finally, I'll leave you with clear, actionable tips that you can start using right away to boost your productivity and accelerate your career growth. So, if you're ready to uncover the secret behind career success that's been hiding in plain sight, let's jump into the 3-step framework. Have you ever started your day feeling scattered, like you're juggling too many ideas and not sure which one to focus on? That's exactly why reflection is key. In the first 2 minutes, find a quiet spot, whether it's your desk, a cozy corner at home, or even a break room, and simply ask yourself, what did I accomplish yesterday? What challenges did I face, and how did I overcome them? What's one thing I'm grateful for today? Taking these few moments allows your mind to clear out the clutter. Think of it like hitting a reset button. This practice isn't about dwelling on the past. It's about understanding your progress, celebrating your wins, and recognizing areas for growth. It also helps you start your day with a positive, intentional mindset. Imagine it like this. If you were about to set off on a long road trip, you'd want to check your map, fuel up, and maybe even glance at the weather forecast. Your 2-minute reflection is that pre-trip check. It helps you understand where you are and where you want to go. Isn't it amazing how a little bit of self-reflection can clear the mental fog and set the stage for a productive day? Now that you've taken a moment to reflect, It's time to channel that energy into planning your day. In the next 2 minutes, identify one key task that will have the biggest impact on your career growth. Ask yourself, which task will move the needle the most today? This isn't about making a long to-do list. It's about honing in on the one thing that, if completed, would make you feel like a total rock star. It could be a critical email, a strategic decision, or even reaching out to a mentor for advice. By focusing on just one priority, you reduce decision fatigue and set a clear intention for your day. Think of it like this. If you only had one tool in your toolbox, wouldn't you make sure to choose the one that fixes the most pressing issue? By identifying your one thing, you're essentially telling your brain, hey, this is what matters, and everything else can wait. Have you ever noticed that when you focus on one key goal, everything else seems to fall into place? Finally, we get to the action part. Just 1 minute to plan a micro action that you can take immediately. In that single minute, outline one small, concrete step you can take to move your priority forward. This could be as simple as sending an email to schedule a meeting, writing down the first sentence of a report, or even setting a reminder for a follow-up task. It's not about completing the task in that minute, but about creating momentum. That tiny action serves as a catalyst for further progress. The key here is consistency. Over time, these 5-minute sessions add up, and the momentum they build can lead to significant, long-term career growth. Doesn't it feel empowering to know that a small, intentional action can set the stage for bigger achievements? Now, before you rush off to set your timer for 5 minutes, let's tackle some common myths that might be holding you back from embracing this simple approach. Myth 1. You need hours to be productive. Many of us believe that if we're not working non-stop, we're wasting time. But productivity isn't about hours spent. It's about focus and impact. Quality trumps quantity every single time. Myth 2. Small actions don't lead to big results. It might seem counterintuitive, but small, consistent actions often have a compound effect. Think about how saving just a little money each day can eventually lead to significant savings. The same principle applies to your career. Tiny daily wins add up. Myth 3. Productivity is all about multitasking. Multitasking can actually dilute your focus and reduce the quality of your work. By dedicating 5 minutes to a single important task, you're giving your full attention to what matters most. Myth 4. You're either a morning person or not. Many people believe that productivity is all about waking up at dawn. But with this 5-minute routine, it doesn't matter if you're an early bird or a night owl. The key is consistency and making time for reflection, prioritization, and action, no matter when you choose to do it. Myth 5. It's too simple to work. Sometimes simplicity gets a bad rap. We tend to assume that if something is simple, it can't be effective. But in reality, the most effective strategies are often the simplest ones. Complexity can be paralyzing. Simplicity is liberating. By busting these myths, you can clear away the mental clutter that tells you need to overhaul your entire life to see progress. Sometimes less truly is more. All right, let's get practical. I'm going to walk you through a live demo so you can see exactly how this works. Grab your phone, notebook, or even just your mind and follow along. Step 1. Reflection. Set a timer for 2 minutes. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and mentally review your previous day. Think about one accomplishment, even something small, that made you proud. If you're comfortable, jot it down on a piece of paper. Ask yourself, what went well and what could be improved? If your mind starts wandering to that embarrassing moment from high school, or the time you accidentally wore mismatched socks to an important meeting, just smile and gently guide your thoughts back to today's focus. We've all been there. Step 2. Prioritization. Now set your timer for another 2 minutes. Open your eyes and think, what's the one thing I can do today that would make a real difference? It doesn't have to be a huge project. Maybe it's just drafting a quick outline for a new idea or sending a follow-up message. Write this priority down. Keep it laser-focused. Step 3. Action planning. For the final minute, decide on one micro-action. It could be as simple as send an email or list 3 ideas. Write down your micro-action, and if possible, take a small step right then. Even if you just hit draft on an email, That's progress. And there you have it, 5 minutes that can set you on a path toward meaningful career growth. The beauty of this practice is that it's so accessible. Even on your busiest days, you can carve out this small window to realign and refocus. How powerful is it to know that with just 5 minutes, you're taking a proactive step towards your future success? Let's get real for a moment. I know firsthand how easy it is to get caught up in the chaos of everyday work life. There was a time when I felt like I was drowning in meetings, emails, and constant deadlines. I'd often stay late at the office thinking that more hours meant more success. But no matter how many extra hours I put in, I couldn't shake off the feeling that I wasn't moving forward in the way I wanted. Then one day I decided to try something radical. Just 5 minutes of intentional focus at the start of my day. The transformation was gradual at first, but over weeks and months, I noticed a significant shift. My work became more focused, I was less stressed, and the quality of my output improved dramatically. I even started receiving positive feedback from my colleagues and supervisors, which only reinforced the value of this simple practice. And I'm not alone. I've spoken with professionals from all walks of life who have embraced this method. Whether you're a freelancer, a corporate professional, or an entrepreneur, these 5 minutes can be the catalyst for a breakthrough. One friend of mine, juggling multiple side gigs, told me that implementing this tiny routine helped her regain control over her hectic schedule. Suddenly, tasks that once seemed insurmountable felt manageable, and that sense of control was incredibly empowering. It's funny how we sometimes overcomplicate things. We spend hours reading elaborate productivity blogs or investing in expensive seminars, when really sometimes all you need is a quiet minute with yourself. Who knew that career success could be as simple as setting a timer on your phone? Isn't it refreshing to realize that sometimes the simplest solutions are the most effective? Before we wrap up, let's summarize the key takeaways that you can start using immediately. Dedicate 5 minutes daily. 2 minutes for reflection. Clear your mind, celebrate your wins, and set a positive tone for the day. 2 minutes for prioritization. Identify your most impactful task. Focus on quality, not quantity. 1 minute for action. Commit to a micro action that propels you forward. Remember, these 5 minutes aren't about grand gestures. They're about building a habit of intentionality that compounds over time. Debunk productivity myths. Understand that productivity isn't about long hours. It's about focused, meaningful actions. Recognize that small actions lead to big results over time. Avoid the trap of multitasking. Single tasking is where true progress happens. Don't let the myth of the morning person or complex systems hold you back. Embrace simplicity as a powerful tool for success. Commit to consistency. Consistency is key. It doesn't matter if you miss a day here or there. As long as you get back on track, you're building momentum. Think of these 5 minutes as an investment in yourself that pays dividends over time. Leverage the power of reflection. Use your reflection time not just to review the past, but to set the stage for the future. Gratitude and acknowledgement of progress can fuel your motivation for even bigger challenges ahead. Make it a non-negotiable part of your routine. Just like brushing your teeth or having your morning coffee, make these 5 minutes a sacred ritual. Protect this time fiercely. It's your launchpad for a more productive, fulfilling career. As we near the end of this video, I want you to take a moment and visualize your future self. Picture yourself a year from now, having consistently dedicated these 5 minutes each day. Imagine the clarity, the focus, and the progress you could achieve. It might seem small at first, but when you look back, you'll see that those daily 5 minutes added up to something truly remarkable. I encourage you to give this method a try, starting today. Set a timer, follow the 3-step framework, and watch as the ripple effects of your intentional actions lead to bigger wins in your career. Remember, this isn't a magic pill, but it is a powerful habit that can transform the way you approach your work and your life. What if those 5 minutes could be the turning point that propels you towards your dreams? Would you be willing to try it? Before you head off to conquer your day, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever tried a mini routine like this before? What are some small actions that have made a big impact in your life? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's start a conversation and learn from each other's experiences. If you found value in today's video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might need a little boost in their career, And don't forget to subscribe for more actionable tips on productivity and career growth. I have tons of other videos lined up where we dive deeper into each aspect of building a successful career without the burnout. Thank you so much for spending these moments with me. Until next time, stay focused, stay positive, and keep striving for greatness.